Strategic planning is not a once a year thing. And here's why you need to make it a regular habit in your business. Um, Goals shift, priorities change, life happens. We know how 2024 has been for many of us. And we want to make sure that we're not trying to enforce a plan to happen based on our original intentions. If something has shifted, if you had to pivot, if something needs to change because the original plan isn't going well, we now need to do it because it's like trying to run a marathon, right? Without checking your pace, without checking your route, you're just going blindly and you're following other people, right? And so you get into this place in business where you're following the latest trend, you're following the next business coach's advice, you're doing all of the things and nothing is working for you. And so, what I mean by it doesn't happen once a year, your strategic plan is in place to guide you throughout the year, right? And so, every month, there's something that you should be focused on. Every quarter, there's something that you should be focused on. And so, you need to be doing quarterly reviews of your plan at the bare minimum. You need to every month be assessing and evaluating, am I on track? Did I meet my goals this month? Am I on track to meet my goals for next month? If you didn't reach your goals in the January, right? January 2025. If you don't meet your goals then, what are you doing to pivot, to shift, to change? That's why it's important to now review it. We don't just make these huge plans and set these big goals at the beginning of the year or the end of the year for the following year, only to just go hang it up in the closet, go put it on the bookshelf, go let it sit on our computer somewhere in the digital whatever, right? And so with you reevaluating and reassessing quarterly or month to month, now you're going to be able to make better decisions. You're going to be able to get ahead of challenges. So if you see like, hey, I have this team member, they're not really working out, they don't really align with where I see myself going. Now I need to be able to get ahead of a challenge. Like maybe they're not putting in the work, maybe they're not putting in the output that's required, and you can be paying somebody else something else, right? And so now you need to know how to get ahead of that challenge because you don't want to have that thought in January and then come March, they're still on your payroll and they haven't changed one bit, right? And so this is why we have to make better decisions based on our goals. When things don't align, how do we shift them from there? And then not only will it help you get ahead of your challenges, it's also going to help you feel way more confident in your moves that you're making. It's going to help you feel more confident when you actually reach your goals throughout the year. And you're going to be like, "Oh, I had a plan for that. My plan worked. I had a plan for this pivot. It worked. I saw this happen." And even when it doesn't work, you will still feel more confident that you were able to figure out that it didn't work and why it didn't work, and then make a shift, and it didn't take you 3 to 4 months to make the shift, right? And so, if you want to make planning easier, book a discovery call with me today. I do these 90-minute business strategy sessions, and it's really for CEOs, service providers who are very high level visionaries and they have everything in their head, right? And what they want to do is get it out on paper, get it organized, put it in a way where now they can now communicate it to other people. A lot of times when I worked with CEOs, I found that a lot of them, they know exactly what they do. They have the experience. They have the credentials. They have all of the things, but because it's been in their head so much, they know what they do. But when it comes to the storytelling piece, when it comes to delivering the messaging piece, they aren't able to provide the information of who they are, what they do, how they help people, and how they transform lives and communities. They're unable to communicate that in a organized way. And it hinders, from another person's perspective, whether it's a donor, whether it's a strategic stakeholder, whether it's a potential partner, whether it's a potential team member or what have you. Um, it brings up some hesitations or some questions because you're trying to talk to this person and you're like, are are you are you serious? Are you a real person? Do you know, or like, do you actually produce results because you're unable to communicate clearly what it is you do, what you offer, and how you can help bring my vision to life? You know what I'm saying? And so if you want to make it easier for yourself, if you need someone to ask the question so you can think out loud and I can type it up, organize it, all of the things, um, book a business strategy session with me. They're 90-minute sessions. And of course, once we have the first one, we can determine if another one will be needed. And yeah, and we can start the strategic planning like that. With strategic planning for businesses that are developed, um, even if you already know your mission, vision, all of the goals and things of that nature, strategic planning can take 3 to 5 days to really do, like 3 to 5 full days to really do. So just know these 90-minute strategy sessions are a starter plan, just to get the things out of your head and onto paper, just to organize your thoughts, just to get clear at the bare minimum. What are your top 3 goals for 2025? And how can you now, based on your goals, break those down into quarterly goals? And then at bare minimum, the first session, we could now talk about, okay, we have your top 3 goals and priorities for the year. Now we know what that looks like from quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to hone in on quarter 1, right? And we're going to talk about, okay, on quarter 1, these are the goals for January. These are the goals for February. These are the goals for March. These are the strategic decisions that you need to make in order to successfully complete quarter 1, and be aligned with your goals going into quarter 2. Or you're going to know the things that you need to assess, the KPIs that you need to track, the data that you need to be looking at in order for you to now pivot or make shifts as needed. And so that's what those are for. I look forward to talking to y'all in the next video.